make sure that our military, our army, our resistance fighters are funded, make sure that we provide them with enough sophisticated weapon, enough material to protect our women and our children. The thing as a government, what we are doing is to make sure that our people are not getting killed like other people in Nigeria are getting killed. It is the responsibility of this Biafra government. And that responsibility we are going to take till the day of the declaration of the restoration of independence of Biafra. Let me tell you, we have just started. We will burn Nigeria down. That is what it requires to protect our people, protect our land. We will burn them down. After that, Biafra will come. I want you to understand that if you want peace, you prepare for war. What I've seen for the past 2 years is nothing to write home about. It's not anywhere in the media. Our people are being butchered, kept chopped off by the people who are supposed to be protecting those people. The people they call governors in the southeast part of Biafra has become the Jews.
Please follow this page.
This is the Biafra national anthem.
We are live now, live and direct. We are live. Hit the like button to notify others that we are live. Hit the like button as we come in. Please hit the like button to notify others that we are live. This is a press conference briefing as Biafra government, as Biafra government draft Nigeria government to African Union on the humanitarian killings and damage they are doing to Biafrans. So, as you join, hit the like button to notify others that we are live. And if you have not followed this channel, please do so. Just click the subscription button. Hit the subscription button to follow this channel for our updates. Each time we post, hit the subscription button and hit the like button. And leave your thought on the comment section. Express yourself in the comment section. As we are about waiting for our PM to come and address us, please hit the like button. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. If you have not subscribed to this channel, subscribe immediately. This is Biafra TV. Subscribe immediately.
Rows, 14 rows, 21 rows. Allowed to go. One, beat.
the like button to let others know that we are live. Very, very important.
A minute silence to the fallen heroes of Biafra, and the time starts now. May the souls of the departed heroes and heroines of Biafra rest in peace, while their spirit continue to embolden us as we fight on to defend and declare and protect Biafran people. Ise. The video anthem, please. by the COS of the Biafran Republic government in exile and the de facto government in the homeland. COS, over to you, please.
Thank you so much, Honorable Minister Salia Barawa. Greetings, everyone. His Excellency Simon Eber, Dr. Jonathan Levy, BRGIE Cabinet members, de facto government administrators, county and regional directors, stakeholders, media personnel present, Biafrans and friends of Biafrans. Welcome to the first ever press conference by the Biafra government in relation to the African Commission on Human and People's Rights. My name is Dr. Ngozi Robreza, the Chief of Staff to the Biafran Prime Minister. Welcome, everyone. The 2023 Council Reports on Human Rights Practices in Nigeria by the Bureau of Democracy, Human Rights and Labor indicted Nigerian government in so many ways of human rights abuse, violations, incarcerations, and killings. Closely related to the search for peace and reduction of killings in Africa is the International Crisis Group Report on African Union. Among the 8 major priorities in 2024 by African Union is the Biafran Ambazonia Alliance, signed in Finland in 2023 during the Biafra Referendum Conference under the leadership of His Excellency Simon Eber. This conference heralded the Biafra Charter and other important documents that paved way for Biafra Declaration later this year. Today, Biafrans, through their Prime Minister and our Council, has continued to bring to world attention the violations, oppression, suppression, and inhumane treatment that Biafrans go through under the Nigerian government. From 1967 to 1970, when Biafra was a full-fledged country to date, the young country Biafra was thwarted by the Nigerian government with over 3 million Biafrans killed and many children starved to death by the Nigerian government. The policy that placed embargo on food, especially proteins, into Biafra land. Same problems that caused the Civil War of 1967 to 1970 still exist today in a more deadly format with the reintegration of terrorists into the Nigerian state, Islamization of Nigeria, and use of 2 laws in one country, creating a very dangerous diversity. A major violation in several human rights reports is the unlawful kidnap, torture, rendition, and continued incarceration of the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, by the Nigerian government. Several court rulings in Nigeria, including a United Nations committee set up to look into Nnamdi Kanu's case, have acquitted, discharged him, and sought reimbursement to him from the Nigerian government. But the government have refused to release Nnamdi Kanu or obey any of these court orders, both local and international. A country that has no respect for the rule of law is gone. Nigerian government believed that if it holds Nnamdi Kanu long enough, Biafra agitation and freedom will be abandoned and not realized. Knowing that their mission has failed in that aspect, they turned their attention to the only true disciple son of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, His Excellency Simon Eber, the Prime Minister of Biafra government in exile. Under Simon Eber's leadership of millions of Biafrans, and in a recent Twitter poll conducted, 98% of Biafrans voted to exit Nigeria. This fact is undisputable. It is the wish of the people, and it should be respected for peace, equity, justice, and in line with the laws governing self-determination. Biafrans made the criteria for those laws of which Nigeria was a member state and signed those treaties. The issue of the Lekki massacre, a mass burial of innocent victims who participated in the march was confirmed by the Human Rights Report of 2023. Nigeria government denied killing and burying those innocent children. The truth will always stand the test of time. Other violations by the Nigerian government include the incarceration, torture of Biafrans in different cells across Nigeria, whose only crime was to seek for their own country and to exit a country where non-terrorists are reintegrated into the security apparatus, including military and police. The recent killings in Enugu by Fulani terrorists supported and shielded by the Nigerian military and government is documented. Hundreds of killings in different parts of Nigeria, including the Ehamofo killings, the Obibo killings, the Mbo killings, the Aba killing, recently the Okwama Niger Delta killings, the Olu killings, Borno, Jos, Zamfara, Kaduna, Benue, Abuja, including the Federal Capital Territory of Nigerian killings. Persistent and continuous kidnappings of indigenous citizens, school children, undergraduates, women and children with no help from the government, headed by President Tinubu or the army chief under Christopher Musa, or the senators headed by Godswill Akpabio. Little help. Comment on national TVs. No safeguard of lives and properties by the Nigerian government. Biafra exit is a life and death matter. These and many more are the reasons why Biafra seek to exit Nigeria. Biafrans have maintained the Monday sit at home consistently for over 2 years, courtesy of Biafrans and the Prime Minister, His Excellency Simon Ekpa. This act in itself is a form of referendum, and coupled with our established government in exile and de facto homeland administrators, our defined geographical area with its people, culture, and origin well defined, the 40 United States of Biafra, each with its governors, whom we call the administrators, deputies, and secretaries. Citizens in these 40 states are loyal to these administrators and to the Biafra government in exile, and have been massively participating in the referendum voting, which is in its second stage. Over 20 million Biafrans that rejected the past election in Nigeria, which was documented on Nigeria INEC website, many of them have voted for the Biafra referendum, and more are still voting daily as we speak. Biafrans are at the point where we are facing extinction and begging to leave from the Nigerian government and sponsored Fulani terrorists who kill, maim, and occupy indigenous Nigerians' home without any consequences from the Tinubu government. During the recent killings in Plateau State, one of the sitting legislators noted that the practice of these terrorists is to attack communities who, out of fear, ran away from their homes, then only for the same home to be occupied by foreigners in a few months' time. This is happening across the whole country. The act of depopulate and occupy is what the Nigerian government and their terrorist loyalists use to eliminate thousands of indigenous Nigerians and Biafrans every year. How could a government that reintegrates non-terrorists as an approved policy be asking world leaders to help fight terrorists? This game is ended. These killings, burning of homes and businesses targeted at Biafrans by the Nigerian government using both the military, police, and reintegrated terrorists can no longer be tolerated. The continuous attack of Biafra businesses in different parts of the country, such as in Lagos, Kaduna, Abuja, Kano, and the economic sabotage of Biafrans on a daily basis by the Nigerian Tinubu government can no longer be tolerated or swept under the carpet. Remember the 20 pounds given to all Biafrans at the end of the Civil War, regardless of how much any Biafran had in the bank. Such wickedness against Biafran persists to date, and we cannot accept it anymore. Biafrans have risen up to defend themselves from these constant killings, oppression, suppression, and economic destruction. For many years, we've marched on the streets, we've carried placards to express our wish We've consulted publicly and privately with stakeholders. We've reached out to foreign bodies such as the United Nations for help. In all this, what do we get? More reprisals, more killings of unarmed citizens, marginalization, hatred, subjugation, intimidation, and above all, continuous violation of our rights, land and property by the Nigerian government, their allies, and their supporters. This is against all international laws and treaties they sign with other countries. Nigerian government believes in the use of the barrel of the gun to silence those who do not wish to be part of their terrorist state and agenda. Even innocent women and children who were not involved or against what they do end up being murdered. So this shows that whether you defend yourself or not, Nigerian government will kill you using the reintegrated terrorists whose agenda is to depopulate and conquer. The government agenda approved and signed by Nigerian government and legislators and reintegrate these terrorists in different formats, including the one called Ruga, of which they used to spread across the whole Nigeria. The Fulani tactics of divide and conquer is a strong tool which they've employed over the years in many African regions, including Biafra land. They financially and politically corrupt the governors, legislators, local leaders, townships, and citizens to continue their heinous crime. These inner part in the divide and conquer game are the insiders in the United States of Biafra, who are being used by the Nigerian government, killer governors in the Southeast and South, as well as those who are benefiting financially from the Nigerian government to distract, manipulate, and destroy the Biafra struggle. But have no doubt, the crop of Biafrans in the forefront of this struggle today has systematically, through due diligence, investigation, and information, identified most of these saboteurs and their tactics, and we continuously be treated as enemy of the people. Finally, the intervention and actions of the African Human Rights Commission and other world bodies are needed urgently as we move towards the declaration of the independent state of Biafra on December 2nd, 2024 in Finland. On this note, I thank our leader, Onyendu Nnamdi Kanu, for your steadfastness, resilience, and your stand for peace, equity, and justice. Keep holding on. At this point, please permit me to call on our one and only indefatigable epitome of resilience, a man whom our leader, Onyendu, commanded Biafrans to go and follow and do what he says, because he is bringing a new dimension to this liberation process. The man that opened the eyes of Biafrans and the world to the iniquities, sufferings, killings, danger, and systematic elimination process of indigents by the Nigerian government and state. The man whom the Nigerian president, army, police, government, senators, House of Rep, and their cabals could not sleep when they remember him. The one whose name is like a thunderbolt to the ears of the oppressors and killers. The man whose enemies post on Twitter faceless, without any face. The man who has consistently exposed the ills and wickedness and killings of the Nigerian government to the international stage. And for the first time, the world became aware of the ills being perpetrated by the Nigerian government and their cronies on a whole new level. This guy has shaken Nigeria to its roots, and nothing, absolutely nothing will stop him, because he has the mandate of Biafran people with him. We fully support his actions towards our liberation from a terrorist state. He has threaded where many failed, and his wisdom and commitment to Biafra restoration sets him on the highest pedestal. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me to welcome the Ambassador of Peace, Biafran Prime Minister, His Excellency Agune Chemba Obatobie Mazi Simon Emba. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you very much. The Honorable Chief of Staff of the Biafra Republic Government in Exile and the de facto government in Homeland. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen of the press. Good evening, our cabinet members, ministers,
heads of department, friends of Biafrans, ladies and gentlemen of the press. I welcome every one of you this evening. Good evening, our international attorney, Dr. Levy. I welcome you to this very first ever Biafra Republic Government in Exile press briefing to inform Biafrans on the milestone of this government within a very short period of time, especially on this Banjul court development. My fellow Biafrans, since I was elected the Prime Minister of the Biafra Republic Government in Exile, I made sure that we fulfill the promise to the Biafra people by following the template and liberating Biafra using multi-dimensional approach. The multi-dimensional approach, the political approach, diplomatic approach, and of course, in self-defense and armed struggle approach. The reason for that is that while we are following the international most acceptable way of liberating people that are being subjugated or enslaved by the oppressors, we as well, and at the same time, decided to protect and defend ourselves against a known terrorist state called Nigeria. So my fellow Biafrans, we continue to pursue the freedom of Biafra people using every mechanism necessary. Of course, there is a need for us to also use the judicial approach. And today, we are in Banjul court with the Nigeria terrorist state. The Nigeria terrorist state, many people may not understand why we will continue to address Nigeria as a terrorist state. A country where terrorists are reintegrated within 6 months of so-called surrender. Knowing fully well that you cannot reintegrate terrorists within 6 months. In fact, terrorism is something that is very ideological. It is not something you are going to solve by putting people in one place you call a camp and giving them food and teaching them how to live a life and make food, or how to run and do trainings, and then after 6 months, you will say that you have now de-radicalized them. There is no point in de-radicalizing a terrorist that is very ideological. Today we have seen the effect of those whom they claim to have been de-radicalized and reintegrated into the society, including recruiting them into military, police, Air Force, Navy, and all that. We've seen the havocs, the menace they cause in our land, and when they are recruited, they deploy them to Biafra territory, and they will begin to burn villages, houses, instead of protecting the people. And of course, the reason for that is not very, very far from what we have been suspecting for a very long time: Islamization of Nigeria. We do not have anything against Islam, but we expect the other people to also respect our choice of religion. We are Christians, Jewish, and of course, traditional worshippers. And you cannot force us to embrace a different religion that we are not conversant with or that we don't want in our life. So that is the reason you see many killings, ethnic cleansing, annihilation of many ethnic groups, and of course other indigenous nationalities within the Niger area. And Biafra people have stood up to resist that particular barbarism and massacre of different ethnic nationalities within the Niger area. Biafrans are resisting it, and for that reason, in as much as we want peace, we must defend ourselves. In as much as we want to exit Nigeria, we must make sure that our women and children are not killed like before. We must make sure that we don't go out to the street and give ourselves very cheaply to the Nigeria state to be massacred. We've seen a massacre of Biafrans from 1999, after many, many years from after the war. We've seen the emergence of Biafra from 1999 under Mossad. Many thousands of them were killed, many buried in shallow grave. From 2013, we saw the emergence of the indigenous people of Biafra, under the leadership of Martin Amdekano. Many of them were butchered and killed from 2015 to 2017, 2018, and of course, even in 2022 and in 2023. Many of them were killed. The last one happened in Aba, in a state called Abia State, in the former Abia State, and they were protesting, and many of them were killed and butchered live in the street of Aba. After that massacre, we ordered sit at home to make sure that those who killed them were hunted down by the Biafra people. Of course, we recorded some success on that, and we continue to make sure that those who come to kill Biafrans will not live to tell the story. It is self-defense. It has been activated, and you can agree with me that since Biafra Republic Government in Exile, the unveiling of the Biafra Defense Forces, the Biafra Liberation Army, and Biafra Resistance Fighters, this barbarism, this killing has reduced to the minimum. They no longer kill our people at will. We no longer even give them that particular opportunity to kill anymore. And each time they come to kill in our community, we have ruthlessly resisted that particular barbarism. And today, you can see all of them crying. And sometimes I look at them, how they cry, and I laugh. I was listening to the so-called defense chief, Musa, lamenting how Nigeria has engaged Finland. I do not know what they are engaging Finland for. Is Simon Ekpa in Nigeria? The answer is no. You know where Biafra Liberation Army they are. If you think that you have the firepower, you go there. You have been going there with armored tanks. You have been visiting those camps. And of course, at the end of the day, you get defeated. And then you go to the social media and cry about Simon Ekpa. Is Simon Ekpa in Nigeria carrying gun? Is Simon Ekpa the one that you are coming to kill in their villages, in the villages? Is Simon Ekpa the one that made you to kill over 200 people in Aba school? Is this Simon Ekpa that was the reason why you killed, massacred Biafras at Mpo? Was this Simon Ekpa the reason why you kidnapped Mazen Amdekano? Why you kidnapped Mazen Amdekano? I was still having broadcasts on YouTube. I have not even proved anything to the terrorist state of Nigeria. You kidnapped him, thinking that after that, Biafra will end. In fact, after the kidnapping of Mazen Amdekano, many of you organized press conference, from the special advisor to the president then, to the national security advisor, to the Minister of Justice, AGF, Malami. All of you organized press conference bragging how Biafra have ended, bragging how you can never hear, very soon, nobody will hear about Biafra again. You thought you all succeeded, but hey, actually, I am just starting. If you think that you have pride, believe me, after the second day of December, when Biafra may have counted their vote and issued a declaration for the restoration of independence of Biafra, believe me, your cry will multiply by 1,000. I want to also assure you people that the voting for self-referendum that is going today have recorded a very tremendous success. Today, from the homeland alone, we've recorded over 6 million votes. 6 million. And this is just the first stage of the voting. The first stage is going to end this May ending, and we enter the second stage. So those 20 million Biafrans who boycotted the election on the order of the Biafra Republic government in exile during the Nigeria general election, I believe many of them are ready to cast their vote. And the number of those who are waiting to cast their vote may have even increased. And on this note, I want Biafrans to listen to the awareness that we have created globally. Today in America, they are talking about Biafra. In Asia, they are talking about Biafra. We'll force the American media to start writing about Biafra. It is a must because it is going to be the beginning of the civilization in Africa. And on this note, I call on the media team to flash on the screen the latest development. As a matter of fact, I do not know which country this video is coming from, but just to show you how far the Biafra self-referendum awareness have reached, I want the media team to show this video on the screen. Like I said, I do not know from which country, but there are Biafrans, and this particular awareness has penetrated, and we are now global. So media team, flash it on the screen, and I will continue from there. Thank you.
Come on, the jingle, please.
Go to referendum now. Biafra is going. Anything that is going, Biafra is going. No, kind of one of the life and direct, we are going. So only vote to because we need it tomorrow. I will need to go to it. Let's go home and fix our place. I want to buy it. I am a man to a back. On that group, that's our neighbor. In that back, you go up. We talk and buy in gas springs, in gas bouquets. We talk and buy it. Get nothing normal. I need to buy it. No, that because tired of war. I have 1 year. They are tired. Even my own father in it. I don't know how one of that. Even if you need something that this person has on for them, they face them up with a citizenship. So because when you're a mother, if you are plan, you know how to go over that, it's better for you. So this only has over that. Either they are not or they are not. Next 2021. Never have a proposal to that under that system. Also, more important than that. Africa, whatever. My friend, no. No matter how messed up home is, home is home. From there back, because I had a phone. Let's go home. Whatever I'm going to do, the one that makes me go to Kaila to buy, I rest my kids. Because there is some night that one way I know. I want to buy now. I don't have to have to. I'm on my last. I'm not doing that. I'm not going to do that. So if I got to make it expire, I'm going to come. So I like to do the back to come. That's my kid. Oh, there's a Ulusi.
All right, thank you very much. So if you watch the video, you will understand that the spirit of Biafra has possessed Biafrans all over the world. Somebody should be able to find out which country is that. But the Biafran people are voting in mass, in millions, and it is as a result of the resilience of the government, the resilience of the Biafra Defense Forces, and of course, the genuineness in the people piloting the affair of this particular movement. I've just been confirmed that this is from South Africa. So if you listen to the speaker, he said over 100 or something people were killed last year. And that's the number. It may be more than that. And of course, our aim is to make sure we provide a stable and sane society in Biafra land where our people can return home, develop themselves, and attain their maximum potentials. There is nowhere you are in the world today as a Biafran, no matter how well you are doing, and no matter how important you are, there is no way you are going to attain your potential in those countries of your residence or the countries of your abode. Biafra remain the only hope, the only solution, where your aspiration, your potential, you are going to attain to the highest maximum. So my Biafra people, I want to thank you all for making sure you support this government. For today, we can witness the peace in Biafra land. It is the only place where people are not being butchered like other parts of Nigeria. So I thank you for your support, especially the financial donors who make it possible for us to buy equipment, sophisticated weapons to defend our land against the Nigeria terrorist state that comes with Tucano aircraft, Tucano jet fighter, Bombardier, and of course, military tanks, to bomb and bombard our land. We have always provided adequate military hardware to be used by the Biafra Defense Force to defend our women and children from the terrorist state of Nigeria. Today, we have been able to successfully submit the application at the African Court in Banjul. And of course, the details of this application and this filing will be made public immediately after this press briefing. And on this note, our attorney, Dr. Jonathan Levy, will be coming in after me to give more detailed amplifying the importance of this particular application at the African Union. Many other filings will be coming, as I have made very clear to the Biafra people that what we are doing is using a multi-dimensional approach for the freedom of Biafra. So now this is the legal approach that many of you may have wished that it may have come earlier than now, but no, this is the exact time, right time that we take this necessary step. Not, it shouldn't have come before, and we shouldn't wait till next month. No, this is the exact right time that we should take this particular step we've taken today. That application was submitted yesterday successfully. We've received acknowledgement, and Dr. Levy will come to give more insight on the implications on the Nigeria side about the Banjul Court application filed by the Biafra government. Officially, Biafra versus Nigeria. On this note, I thank you for your support so far. Remember, we still have a very long way to go. The declaration is coming on the 2nd of December. For this to happen successfully, we need support, we need encouragement, and we'll continue to push until the 2nd of December. Nigerians and their terrorist state are not sleeping. Likewise, the Biafra people, we are also not sleeping. If you look at my eyes, you will find out that I have not slept for many days. And I am still not going to sleep until the 2nd of December. They say, they won. Thank you.
Thank you, the Prime Minister. Dr. Jonathan, over to you, please.
Thank you, and thank you, Mr. Prime Minister. I also want to thank the spokesperson for making my job very easy, because we all know the background, and she summed it up very well. For those of you who don't know me, I've been involved with Biafra for a long time. I've filed in the past many of these human rights complaints that seem to the African, what we're essentially doing is giving notice to the African Union that they need to convey our information directly to the Nigerian government, bring the Nigerian government before the African Commission, to answer our complaint, and they need to answer that complaint before the results are in from the referendum. Why is that? Because when the referendum for the reinstatement of Biafra occurs, and when the results are in, Nigeria is going to implode, because legally, a referendum is the way to achieve independence. We're following the law. A referendum is the internationally recognized way to achieve self-determination, or in this case, bring back the self-determination that really never went away. But now, because there's a unified government, it's going to come again. So we're asking the African Union on an emergency basis, hey, talk to these Nigerians, bring them in there, and let's get a peaceful transition going on. A peaceful transition. And, this is what we want. We also want a plan for the reparations. We want the reparations. I'll see if I can turn off the screen sharing. We got it on, but we'll get it back off. Let's see. I can't get it off. So anyway, that's what I was. Oh, here we go. Stop it. All right. So anyway, we want them to come in, and we want to stop the implosion. We don't want unnecessary violence, because we want a peaceful transition. We want the African Union to lend its good offices to make that smooth transition occur. We want a plan for reparations for economic abuses and human rights abuses. And this is what we're asking. And we're asking as an equal, a co-equal to Nigeria, because we are Biafra. And that's what we're doing here before the African Commission. And that's the approach we're going to take in every other legal proceeding, that it is the Republic of Biafra, which is a co-equal to Nigeria. And this is how we're going to use the legal system and use the international system, because as the Prime Minister has pointed out, we must defend ourselves. But we are possible ways to do this, to get the international recognition that is due. And one way to do this is a referendum, going to the international organizations. But if the Nigerians insist, then there's no choice but self-defense. But again, as a last resort. But this is the multi-level approach that we're using. And we expect, on an emergency basis upon which this was filed, that the Nigerian government will answer this communication before the referendum date at the end of November, before the referendum results are due. We've made this very clear, that Nigeria must be brought into the Banjul process before the end of November. And we will wait and see what happens. If the Nigerians refuse, then the African Union will proceed without them under their rules.
Thank you very much, Dr. Levy. And of course, the Biafra government will make us go back. Only the pronunciation from the African Union on the recognition of this particular self-referendum that the Biafra Republic government in exile is conducting at this point. We also demand the ratification of this particular self-referendum. And in case they feel that this is not up to their standard, they are, of course, very free to conduct their own supervised referendum in Biafra. But the first and foremost, our demand is that this ongoing self-referendum must be ratified by the African Union and the Banjul Court. So just to ram it up, and this particular communication will be made public, and I believe that many press, journalists, and the media representatives who are here, this particular application and filing will be made public. We're not hiding anything, and Biafrans can see exactly what the government have done and what we are still going to do. There are many pending things that we are working out together with our attorney, Dr. Levy, which will come in the later days. And of course, as we progress,